What is up, Jerome's? It is here. It is finally friggin' here. NFL kickoff is upon us, or the actual football season, not what the Chiefs and Texans consider football. Vikings game day. I did not know this, but this is the first time that they've opened up week one against the Packers at home. And so we got that going on for us, which is nice. And to all the haters and losers, like this is Mike Florio right now. Like this is all the national media jabroni haircuts who were just actively, openly rooting for there not to be an NFL season because the sky is falling. Oh this, oh that. 30. What was it? Schefter. 3,600 players and team personnel, another 1,400 game day assistants have been cleared for today's games per source. So all of them tested negative for COVID. All of the blah, blah, blah is out of the way. There's going to be football, and it really is amazing. It really is amazing. Like, if you're telling me March that the NFL season would be starting on time and as together as it possibly could be, I'll call you a liar. You a lying ass sack. All right, so we're good to go. Vikings are ready to rock and roll. Minus Daniil Hunter, minus Michael Pierce, whatever. Rock and roll. Let's do this. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. All right, so decided to come on. I think what we'll do is, hour before every Vikings game, we'll just hop on here, do some Q&A, just do a pregame show, because I'm not gonna lie. So like we've said, we're gonna keep this channel as apolitical as possible. Some of the pregame shows are just like, Yeah. All right. So we're going to talk about fun stuff. We're going to talk about the ridiculous Aaron Rodgers. We're going to talk about Kirk Cousins. Can he get it done with no fans? This actually might benefit Kirk. I think this is going to be a great thing for him. Dalvin Cook getting the bag. Woo. Let's go. Let's go. Football is here. And it was great because it was fitting that there was fog, very heavy fog this morning in the Twin Cities, because I'm just trying to find a reason why the Packers are going to beat the Vikings. I can't find. I just cannot find. I'm searching high and low of why the Vikings aren't going to win today, aren't going to go 16-0, aren't going to hoist that Jerome Bardi at the end of the season. I just, it's tough. It is difficult to see out there, but what can you do? Let us know what you're doing for game day. Give a couple shout outs. Also let us know where you're watching from. We are an hour away from Vikings football, and just how amazing is this stuff. We got some Q&A too. Oh, they released the game day inactives. So Harrison Hand, Connolly. Connolly makes sense. They're still nursing him back in, coming off that ACL. That's why Hardy Nickerson Jr. is up from the practice squad. Ezra Cleveland, game day inactive. Not really too surprising. James Lynch, DJ Wanham, the two rookies. So the Vikings do have 9 defensive linemen active today. Chadwick, Jerome Beebe is inactive, which, for all the hype about Chad Beebe, why? This does seem like a wasted rooster spot. So Tajay Sharp's going to dress. KJ Osborne might get in the wide receiver mix as well. UDFA Dan Trisena is going to play some special teams. So it's exciting, man. It's exciting. Let's get this thing going. All right, so Q&A. Tristan D 531. I personally believe whoever wins today will win the divisions, as the Vikings Packers both have a tough schedule starting at 0-1. Is not what you want to do. And also you see, so the Bears, David Montgomery's out, Robert Quinn is out. For the Lions, Kenny Galladay's out, Jeff Okudah's out. I mean, they both may as well tank for Trevor right now, because that's where they're going to be. Robert Barweiler. The O-line will show us everything we need to know about the season. Who do you think is critical to step up and solidify the line? I think it is Bradbury. You can't really do anything about the hard-headedness of this coaching staff, Dakota Dozier and Pat Elflein. But you saw Garrett Bradbury really stepping up towards the end of last season, having more confidence in the line calls, second year in this scheme. He has to be the man. He has to be that leader, as well as remember how the Vikings interior offensive line played last season against Green Bay, Kenny Clark and Zadarius Smith. That all started in the middle. It did. Tyler. Oh, and Reef. Tyler. Of all the inexperienced players starting, Jefferson, BC Dozier, who has the best and worst game? I'm going to say Afadio Deneba has the best game. Also, I think he plays the most snaps of the edge rushers. Worst game? I'll say Dozier. I'm not happy about it. Ben Berry. Old age pensioner Rodgers stat line versus MVP Cousins. Maybe also running backs. Not anything particular. I think Rodgers has 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Cousins has 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Cousins has better quarterback rating, better QBR, better DVOA, better PFF grade. Maybe Rodgers throws some more yards, and then everyone's like, "Oh, he threw for more yards." What pisses me off is that passing yardage is the most imperfect metric of how to measure a quarterback's worth. It really is. Because also, think about when you're racking up a lot of the passing yards. End of the game, you're behind by a couple of scores, and maybe you're behind because of your inept play, but all the yards count. All yards matter. All the yards at the end of the day just like rack up. So, yeah, Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 yards last year. You joined the 5,000 yard club. Matthew Stafford might become the all-time leading passer, which is just Sam Morris. Will Justin Jefferson get a touchdown this game? Yes. Maybe, but yes. Ben Bauman. How many yards would Jordan Love throw for in his first game? 0 because he's inactive, because they went with Tim Boyle. It's have you ever had a boil on your ass? I have not, but I mean, just the thought of it sounds painful, because a boil's basically like a blister, right? Yeah, well, let's look that. No, we don't have to look that up. Also, if you want your question answered in the live chat, toss a couple bucks in the super chat. Woo! Seth V. Herman. Dalvin and Aaron Jones yardage touchdown prediction. I think Dalvin has himself a nice round 200-yard from scrimmage day and 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones is stifled for 63. Maybe he falls in the end zone once. I don't know. Will A.J. Dillon, the 2-down tyrant, start getting some work behind him? Will the human prime meridian Jamal Williams get some work? At least Packers don't have Jamal Adams. That would be annoying. Elijah Bond. Who has the advantage, Vikings D or Packers O? I'm going to go Vikings D. I mean, Packers offense, that offensive line somehow got worse. Imagine downgrading from Brian Bulaga. Well, that's what the Packers have going. Did they name who's starting at right tackle for those jabronis? Oh, also it's funny. So, yeah, they went with the cardboard cutouts. Yay. Oh, they put in Larson and Jim Marshall and was that Page and Eller? Yeah, good times. Cool. Next up is the Packers offense. Either they're starting a banged up Billy Turner or the corpse of Pretty Ricky Wagner. Either way, Yannick Afadi, whoever the hell is rushing from the left side, is going to eat. It's going to be a good time. As well as, that Packers offensive weapons, I just don't know, man. You sort of feel bad for Aaron Rodgers, and then you realize, douche. Yeah. Next up, it all starts and ends with Aaron Jones. He's the only Aaron with talent. Gerald Cersei, how many snaps will Justin Jefferson play? I'd say over under 35. I think he'll be getting the mix a lot more than you think. Hops. Hoping for something good to happen for us. Hey, that's how I live my life every day. There's motion at the front door. They're knocking on the front door. Well, load then, man. Come on. All right, next up. Brian Kukin, trying the whole sobriety thing for a while. What's your favorite thing to do during games besides drink and obviously watch? I actually don't drink during games, because generally I'm watching the game alone, down in the studio. Good times. We'll have Red Zone on one TV. We'll have the game on the other TV. Everything's muted, by the way. So I generally don't drink when I'm just watching the game by myself, because that would be problematic. If I'm watching a game with other people, it's generally not a Vikings game because we're always working. But yeah, just watching like Monday night or Thursday night with other people. Yeah, we'll have a couple beers. But favorite thing to do during the game besides drink. All right, so again, this is a dirty little secret. So I have the TV muted. I don't listen to the radio. I will be listening to like Dan Carlin Hardcore History or some music, some random stuff, like I don't know. Put on a Tom Petty station on Amazon Music, or We will be dicking around quite a bit. Like, yeah, we'll be paying attention to the game. We'll be taking notes, being ready for the post-game show. But I'm kind of all over the place. Like, we'll eat. We made some beef vegetable wild rice soup because we could. By the way, wild rice is really expensive. The hell, man, it's wild. Brian Kahukin. Will Kirk get over 10 rushing yards with the team asking him to rush more? Probably not. Kirk has this weird athleticism where he's more athletic than people give him credit for. But when he's out there on the field of play, when he's out there with 6'4" dudes who weigh 260 and run a 4.40, he looks like a newborn fawn. He looks like Bambi out there on some ice, just like. Blah. He'll be fine. Christopher Wade, I saw a reliable source post a score earlier. Do you think the Packers will even score 4? Oh, yeah. So our final score prediction was Vikings 1,000, Packers 4. Now, I forget which video it was. We predicted a final score of 4 for somebody before, and we said it won't be 2 safeties. And then I don't know, someone came in the comments and yelled at us like, oh, don't take this person seriously. How can you score 4 without 2 safeties? Well, field goal, and then a 1-point safety. So it's an extremely rare scoring event, but yes, you can score a 1-point safety. And what happens is on an extra point try, if the other team runs it all the way back to the other end zone, all right, so this is the easiest example. So say you line up for an extra point, kick attempt, and the kicker gets snapped the ball, and then he runs straight back to his own end zone, and then they tackle him for a safety. That will be 1 point for the team. Now, extremely rare. It does happen, but yeah, it's extremely rare. Actually, let's look. Oh, well, we can't play video. We'll get kicked off of here. But yeah, 3 + 1 = 1. But yeah, go look it up on YouTube. It has happened in college. I don't believe it's ever happened in the NFL. Actually, hold on. NFL 1-point safety. All right, next up. Ethan Griffith, is this a game Chad Beebe gets hurt, or is it next week? Well, you would think it's next week, but I don't know. Like that bench gets pretty hard, so maybe Chad Beebe will develop some saddle soreness. I don't know. There's a lot of things going on. Oh yeah, I forgot. Brett Jones on the practice squad. They didn't even call him up. What kind of gangster poop is that? Caden, biggest weakness both teams. Vikings history and the Packers douchedness. But in actuality, Vikings interior offensive line, Packers receiving weapons. Brian Kahukin, how many interceptions will Rodgers throw? How many sacks? I think Rodgers will serve a meatball up to Anthony Harris, and I think he'll get sacked 5.5 times. Wait, that doesn't make sense. 6 times. Ben Bauman. If you had to guess, how many run pass plays will the Vikings use week 1? I think they'll run 55% of the time. Yeah. Sure. Man, there's a lot going on out there. Eagles' offensive line is in ashes. Then you have my permission to die. Yeah, the Eagles' offensive line is ass, man. So they lost Brandon Brooks. They lost Andre Dillard. Lane Johnson is out because he rolled his ankle. So now they're starting. Who are they starting? They're starting Herbig. Where is it? Nate Herbig, who was at Stanford, who I liked. He was a bit of a plotter, a bit of a whatever, like zero movement skills. He's starting a right guard. Then also they have Jack Driscoll out of Auburn starting a right tackle, who, meh. Also they have his Auburn teammate Prince Tanga Winogo, who they drafted in the 6th round. Not so much. Man, it's rough. Next up is Brian Coogan. Why is Ezra inactive? Well, it's just a numbers game. Let's roster. So he's the only inactive offensive lineman today. So that means that they have 8 active. Correct? Yeah. All right. So Bradbury, Dozier, Elflein, O'Neal, and Reef are starting. They got Hill as a swing backup tackle. Ludo's active. There you go. Dakota Dozier's backup center, and Drew Samia as the backup guard. So, does make sense. But because you had to skimp on active spots somewhere, does make sense. It's fine. Next up is Jack Binfit. Let's say we get 5 touchdowns. Who are they? Skull baby. Dalvin has 2. I'm going to say Rudy has 1. Irv has 86 yards receiving. Rudy has 4, but he gets the touchdown. And I think that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be all damn year. Say Thielen gets 1 on the revenge tour, and Justin Jefferson gets 1. Anthony Harris almost gets 1, except he's tackled at the 1-yard line. Just like, Charlie Boltman. Should the Vikings convert part of Thielen's salary into a roster bonus and then roll that additional cap space over to next year? Well, let's take a look. All right, so 2020. All right, so he doesn't have that big of a base salary. So say they took $3 million off of that, so then they'll prorate out. So 600,000. So that would take that down $2.4 million. So his cap hit would go from 12.7 and change to 11.3 and change. I think it makes more sense for them to restructure him next year when he's due to have a $13.5 million cap hit. Yeah. Also, they already restructured him once. I do love the Eric Kendricks restructures where it's like, oh, he's such a team leader, just taking less. No, he gets the exact same amount of money, except he just gets it sooner. So it's actually worth more, given the time value of money. So he can just do whatever he wants. Hell, yeah, Kendricks should be how's Kendricks not a captain? Also, how did they not restructure Anthony Barr? Well, maybe. So generally, you restructure players who are going to be there during the duration of their contract, right? So that's why you see restructures of a Daniil. You see restructures of Harrison restructured once too. Same thing with Eric Kendricks. So maybe the reason they didn't restructure Barr is because if they restructured his $10 million base salary, then say they took that down to 2, so they freed up 8. So it'd be $2 million for each of the 4 years remaining. So it would take his cap hit down from 12.7 to 10.7. I mean, but then also that kicks $6 million of dead cap into the future years. And maybe the Vikings do want to move on from Anthony Barr. And maybe they do next season just want to be like, you know what? You got a 15.5 cap hit. So it's $7.8 million dead. We can do that over 3 years because that's the proration of a signing bonus. Deuces. June 1st cut. So that would a June 1st cut allows you to keep that proration. So he would be freeing up $12.9 million in cap space. Yeah, that is why the cap is a myth, by the way. Let's see. See, I see all the nays. So the reason why the Vikings always remain in good cap shape is because you look at the dead cap numbers. So the Vikings, 2021. All right, so they already have. Over the cap has projected the 176 million, whatever the cap space is going to be next year. So the Vikings are at the moment over that. But also you look at. You look at the dead money. No, I don't want to buy 1-800-Flowers. I do not like green eggs and ham. All right, so the Vikings right now have negative 1.6 million in cap room. But you look at the contracts that are on the books, and also you look at the lack of dead money. So say they cut Anthony Barr. Say they let's see here. Oh no, we want next year. There you go. Reset, enhance. All right, so 2021, there we go. All right, so let's see here. Anthony Barr cut, Riley Reef cut, Kyle Rudolph cut, Shamar Stephen cut. We'll say a restructure for Kirk Cousins, sure. Michael Pierce, no. All right, so the Vikings magically went. So the Vikings magically went from negative 1.6 million cap space, and they freed up. So that would be almost 38 million and change by moves that could conceivably happen, and they're not carrying a ton of dead money. So that is the reason why teams get in cap hell, is that they have too much dead money on players that they don't want or have moved on from. So the fact that the Vikings do have the flexibility, even though they gave Anthony Barr that 5-year, $67.5 million contract last offseason, they can get him after 2 seasons. Riley Reef, even after taking that pay cut, he gone. Kyle Rudolph got that fresh extension. They re-signed Shamar Stephen. There's always money in the banana stand. This is why. So the Vikings are not like the Cowboys. The Vikings are not like the Rams. The Vikings are not like the Saints. And I don't want to hear about it anymore. Other than that, I have no opinions on it. Next up, how many sacks will the O-line allow this game? 0. Joey Capuana. Who scores the Vikings' first touchdown day? Who scores the touchdown day? Wait, what? Like singular? Well, it's gonna be Dalvin get 2, Thielen 1, Jefferson 1, Rudy 1. Westworld, Nate Meadors is gonna blow this game. I mean, it's not like he's gonna be on the field a lot. Like, he might play some special teams. Like, if Nate Meadors is actually on the field for defense, well, either the Vikings are blowing him out and then they're just getting the scrub some run in fourth quarter, or poop has hit at the faneth. So, I don't think he's going to. Ethan Griffith, how many sacks for Afadi and Yannick? I'm going to go 2 for Afadi and 0.5 for Yannick. I'm going to go, they combined for 3.5. Figure it out. Turtle 553. Can the offensive line stand at least mediocre against Packers D-line? I mean, they couldn't do worse than last year. Either way, we'll see Kirk, Lamar Jackson, Cousins come out for the first time today. It's certainly possible. I mean, let's see here. We're just gonna see Kirk G3 because if you're gonna be a mobile quarterback, you may as well learn from one of the best to ever do it. So yeah, Kirk sitting in those meeting rooms, Landover, Maryland, just absorbing all of that. All right, so you run here. Oh, you run here. Oh, this is where you run. All right, so this is where you tear an ACL. All right, so this is where you get flopped around like a rag doll. Okay, I got it. Also, Kirk used to be number 12. That's funny to me. Was he 12 because they still had Rex Grossman on that roster? Does it still say Washington Football Team 2012 like that? No. Looking at the rooster. Oh my God, I was right. Yeah, because they had sexy Rexy Grossman, Bear Super Bowl participant quarterback Rex Grossman on there. That's hilarious. It's good times. Next up is Stanley Moros. Do you think the box office guys will say that we got worse this offseason like every game? The box office guys. I don't know who the box office guys are. Like, if you're referring to, like the announcers, I guess they're in the box. Who do you got today? It's Jennings and someone. Let's see. Or 2020. Greg Jennings, who apparently is a bodybuilder now. Greg Jennings. Oh, Chris Myers. Chris Myers, sure. See, to do a Chris Myers impression, you just have to sound like Jimmy Stewart from It's a Wonderful Life, but then just cut it a little bit. Chris Myers, up close here. ESPN. Brock Heward. I like Brock Heward. He does a lot of stuff in Seattle for like sports radio, and now he's in because he did a lot of college, I believe. Yeah, he's good. He knows stuff. And Greg Jennings. I've never forgiven Greg Jennings for his stupid April Fool's Day prank, which is so obvious, but we fell for it. So I don't know. I don't know if we want that world. Like, I want Adam Thielen to get all that smoke. Jefferson will get his, but equal targets. Yeah, we'll see. Next up is XL Zapadarius. How many Packers fans do you think will come here and brag if they beat us or whine if we win? Probably all of them. I'm just waiting. And in general, I'm fine with Packers fans. Like, as long as you're respectful and not douchey, it's cool. And yeah, also, I definitely implore the Vikings fans be cool to Packers fans, because, it's a fun rivalry. Like, this is, we pointed this out in the video. Like, this is not like the Raiders rivalry. Like, there's no stabbing. Like, there's no shanking. Like, when's the last time you heard of, like, Viking versus Packer violence? And it just doesn't happen. Next up is Ethan Griffith. How much does it hurt the Vikings to not have fans at this game and not be playing Old Man Rodgers after he's taken beating a few games? Don't like that he's fresh. Well, he's fresh and he's still old. It's like you can have an 80-year-old boxer, and yeah, you'd rather have him in the second round. But in the first round, you're still getting an 80-year-old boxer, so I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine. Plus, also, there are some certain Vikings who I think would operate a lot better without the pressure of fans, even if they are your home fans. Because there's something called being a Thursday All-American, where you just look great in practice when no one is around, but come game day, Saturday or Sunday, not so much. So, yeah, I honestly could see Kirk in these early games when there is no fans, less pressure, just absolutely drop dimes as long as he's given a little bit of time, which would be just hilarious to me. Also, what's everyone eating for the game day? That's what I want to know. We got some soup. Take a light approach. What? Sorry, I'm just getting caught up in some of the updates of what's going on at US Bank Stadium. I was like, okay. Okay, sure. Man, who else is fired up? Who else is ready to rock and roll? Also, hey, let us know where you're watching from. Give a couple shout outs. I know we called that for that earlier. We missed a couple. Let's also take a look at the Packers roster. Packers are lads. This lad is named for you and me. Dun, 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 dun. Because, you almost feel bad. So Aaron Rodgers, for years, tried to go the Tom Brady route, take a little bit less to help the team out. And then he's like, no, F you. And then the team was like, no, F you. And we understand that you only have one receiver, Devonta Adams, who's not as good as Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Olabisi Johnson, Stephon Diggs. And we understand that this is the deepest wide receiver class in NFL history. But no, we're going to send you out there with MVS and Lizard and Malik Taylor, and St. Brown is inactive. Good times. Also, it kind of sucks because I liked Elton Jenkins. I did like John Runyon coming out of the draft from Michigan. I like Yoj, from Virginia Tech. And then also, I did not like Billy Turner. I like Billy Turner if we could have got him for the league minimum last offseason. But the fact that the Packers are paying him $8 million a year to be a not good starter, okay, sure. Mercedes Lewis, the corpse of Jimmy Graham obviously was not there anymore, but Mercedes Lewis is a career blocking tight end, and you refuse to use Jay Sternberger, and the tight end that you drafted in the third round is really a fullback. Even though it ran all over the Vikings last year too, so it'd be what it'd be. Yeah, Dean Lowry, Kenny Clark, Tyler Lancaster, shoot. The Smith brothers, please. Yeah, Oren Burks and Christian Kirksey, the corpse of him. Bring it. Who's sweating this game? No one. I understand that they do have some talent in the secondary. I love Jar Alexander. Love Darnell Savage. Adrian Amos. You're not even good enough to start for Chicago, bro. So you're out. Kevin King, who was made a hero last year because of Kirk Cousins just pulling a big boner late in the game. Just throwing an interception straight to him instead of Diggs in the end zone. I get it. As well as Josh Jackson. I don't want to wait for this game to be over. It's going to be a beatdown, man. You'll love to see it. Oh, also, like everyone was saying, is like, oh, what do you mean they don't have a good wide receiver? They have Devin Funchess. Like, he opted out because of the Rona like weeks ago, man. Come on. That's like saying the Vikings defensive line don't have to sweat it because Michael Pierce is there. I do have a bit of a worry there because Shamar Stephen is not a nose tackle. Jaleel Johnson is not a nose tackle. Armon Watts is not really a nose tackle. So they are missing just that big body. Now, are they just waiting until after week 1 to sign Snacks or someone with a pulse and nose tackle? Marcel Darius or something? Maybe that is the plan, but I don't know, man. I just don't know. TGJP School from Detroit Lakes. What up? David Klaus, Dallas Fort Worth, Cowboy Country. Go. Devin A. Toff, Brentwood. Up to no good. Thomas Hayes, Baston's back in town. School from Tulsa. BV Sick. Jerry Jones, the Lizard King, Fargo, North Dakota. He loves Alan Lazard too. World General Vince Vaughn's having BLTs and Coors Light, baby. Club sandwiches may be the most underrated like sandwich out there, and they're basically just a BLT with turkey. It's really, really good. So there's this place in Rochester called Beatles that does a BLT with. All right, so they'll roast up a bunch of like Thanksgiving style turkeys during the week, and so like Thanksgiving turkey, especially get some of that dark meat on there on a club sandwich. Woo, son, come on. Brian Kugan Skull from Mesa, Arizona. Brandon King Skull from San Angelo, Texas. Tejas in the house. RubeTube Review Skull from Colorado. What up? Everyone in the Pioneer Press picked the Packers to win except for Bob Sansevier. Because of course, man. He's married to a former Vikings cheerleader. Woo! I read all these out of order, so I'm sorry if I miss you. Eric Hansen Skull from Eddie's Garage in Arlington. What up? Eric Anderson, Moorhead, doing burgers and tots. Ugh. I only watched Napoleon Dynamite once. And I know that there are people of my generation who have seen that movie probably a couple hundred times. Nah, I can't do it. Max Kallenberg Skull from Southwest Minnesota State. Go Marshall. Rebel Viking 912 Georgia. Caden Spiker Skull from Farmington. What up? Nick Lindbergh Skull from South Carolina. Getting a little bit of vinegar on the barbecue sauce. Pat Boots. Let's go boy Skull. Cairo S. Skull from Marshall. Pride of Trey Lance. Woo! Who the Gophers did not offer, by the way. As much credit as PJ Fleck deserves. I mean, you have a quarterback who could be the top quarterback selected in the draft. Well, probably not with Trevor Lawrence, but could be a top 5 pick, could be a top 10 pick, and you didn't. He's right in your backyard, and you didn't even sniff. You're like, nah, please. Eric Schilling, Skull from Little Rock, the state of Iowa. Little Rock, wait, there's Little Rock, Iowa? It's weird. I'm from California. Violet Valkyrie, Grand Forks. Seth O'Hara, Skull from Duluth. Ernest Ramshin from Maryland. Is that you, Rona? Alexander Reich, Skull from Germany. Broschwig, what up? All right. Man. Who's ready to go? Like, it's 28 minutes till kickoff because, I'm not going to watch until they actually kick off. Yeah. But, I mean, the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers and stupid Aaron Rodgers and the 12-year-old boy, like, you remember the entire 13-3 season last year, and it's all like, oh, here's the Packers again. Oh, Rodgers is rejuvenated with this new offense. Oh, this. Oh, blah, 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 blah. The asshole tiptoed through the tulips all season, complete fluke season. They got smacked down by the Niners twice. If the Vikings miraculously would have gotten a different left tackle instead of Riley Reef, and also if Adam Thielen had been cleated by, I still think it's credible, during practice that week, and the Vikings got the upset in Candlestick Park because a fully healthy Adam Thielen coming off that hamstring goes for like 295,000 yards like Anthony Carter did back in the day. When the because what was it, the 87 season when the Vikings beat New Orleans in the wild card round. They beat the Niners at Candlestick, and then they lost to Washington in the NFC title game. But the Vikings had beat the Niners last year. It would have been Vikings, Packers, at Lambeau for the right to go to the Super Bowl. Like, how hype would that have been? It's amazing because I always think it's cool when division rivals end up in the conference championship game because that just adds another layer of motherfuckingness to that game. You know what I mean? And it's like a couple years ago when, what was it? Bears, Packers. Yeah, when it was Bears, Packers at Soldier Field for the NFC title game. And then the stupid Packers went, allegedly went down to Dallas and beat the stupid Steelers. Oh, by the way, I firmly believe that the Steelers would have won that game if Ben Roethlisberger didn't wear his face visor. Hold on. So this is something that doesn't get talked about enough. So Ben Roethlisberger wore a face shield for the Super Bowl down in Dallas against the Packers. Now, he had never worn a face shield at any point in time before this, since, whatever. But for whatever reason, he just wore this smoke-tinted face visor for the Super Bowl. And I think it did affect him. I think it did. Also, what's funny is Antonio Brown was wide receiver 6 on this team because it's like Hines Ward and Mike Wallace. Sorry, Vikings legend Mike Wallace. It's really good times. But this is a good game, too. Chester Taylor in the house in this game. This was when Smoking Jay Cutler was at his peak because he's literally smoking in the January air off of Lake Michigan. Wait, BJ Rod. I forgot BJ Raji had a touchdown, had a pick 6 in this game. How stupid. Also, PFR, I don't know what's going on with the formatting, but it's been getting kind of wonky. Suppose they've been getting crushed with traffic, so, sort of empathize and understand. But yeah. But see, that's what I want to see this year. That's what I do want to see this year is that I for some reason, I do want the Packers to just skate on by, make the playoffs. Well, it affects their draft position, but also, clock in at like number 7, get the 7 seed. And then all of a sudden, you're coming into US Bank Stadium when there will be fans, because it's after the election, when there will be fans in the stadium, full house, 66,000, purple pride strong. If you sell your season tickets to Packers, you're excommunicated. No, we're going to put you on an ice float and just float you out to sea, just like old Inuits. And then it'll be all purple all the time, rocking things out. Prince, Let's Go Crazy on loop. Also playing the Immigrant song for some reason. As the limp Aaron Rodgers comes on in. He barely survived the season. They're holding him together with like duct tape and some of that plumber's putty. And they're just like, for a trip to the Super Bowl to go play down in Tampa Bay. And crushed. Like I fully want like Ohio State, Wisconsin Big Ten title game crushed. Like, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Big Ten, chirp. So what year was that? Because it wasn't, not the last year. I'm not talking about that one. Yeah, 59-0. 2014, 59-0. Is this the Cardell Jones one? Was this the one where Cardell Jones basically ran the table? This might have been his first start, and they won both playoff games. Good times. Yeah. But yeah, I want worse than that. Like, when is the last time an NFL team put up 70? Highest scoring NFL game. I would just love to see that today, too. Highest scoring NFL game, 66. Washington outscored the Giants 72-41. So I want that, except no 41. I want donut. I want 72 donut. I just want that deliciousness one time. I just believe. Man. David Nelson skull from Jacksonville. Let's go Vikings skull from New York. Let's see here. Purple Rain. Loyal viewer. Skull from Wausau, Wisconsin. What is up? Scolger's Soup, Skull from Brooklyn Center, as always. Northern Burbs representing. Yeah, So I'm not a big listen to the TV telecast. Like, it can be good, especially when the sideline reporters come in about injuries and stuff like that, except you'll see that on Twitter or social media or whatever. But, yeah. All right, so the first national anthem is going on right now. Still 22 minutes before game time, man. What's going on? Also, I am sort of rooting for Kevin Stefanski and the Browns. Because I deep down, I do like the Browns. I like Stefanski. I hope that he can turn things around because they do have a lot of talent on that team. It should be better than what Freddie Kitchens led them to be last year. All right, so Vikings lined up on the goal line for the first national anthem. Tom Schmidt's goal from Blue Earth. Isaac Singer's goal from Montana. Dylan Schreiber's goal from Chicago. Pablo Aguilera, goal from Buenos Aires. What up? Sam K's goal from Georgia. Samir Salinger's goal from Austria. Lars goal from Phoenix. What's going on? It just feels good, man. It's actually going to be football. Maybe we'll do a post-game stream. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a post-game stream as we're recording winners and losers. Whew. Felt good to say that, man. Because it means the football's here. Because we legit have not done a winners and losers video since the divisional round. When everyone was losers, by the way. Or should have been. I forget what it was. I'm surprised we didn't do one for the draft. Everyone's sweating their fantasy teams. I could show up my fantasy team. Nah, no one. What is worse, like hearing about someone else's fantasy team, or actually no, that is it. That really is it. Or I don't know, like reliving some sort of tragedy. Dun, 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 dun. See, what other games are on early? Oh yeah, the Survivor Pool. Oh, I thought it was capped at 200, but apparently it went up to 212. And so there you go. Let's see here. NFL Week 1 schedule. Actually, looks like NFL lines. The blurred lines. You know you want it. Actually, I wonder if the Vikings shifted because they're originally... Because they opened as 3.5 point favorites. And that got shifted around a lot. Vikings minus 1.5 because everyone was taking Green Bay and the points. Please. Now, I wish we had a timeline. Like, is this Daniil Hunter related, or was everyone just like, the Packers? I mean, it's the Packers. Let's see here. New England minus 5.5 against Miami. I do like the Dolphins. I still think the Patriots get it done. I think Cam is due for a nice little bounce back season. He probably won't win comeback player of the year because I think that's just going to be handed to Alex Smith. OJ out here tweeting. Yeah, so this is one of the strangest things out there. So just like OJ on the old Twitter machine. OJ's revved up. By the way, he does look pretty good. I mean, if Adrian can get 10 to 15 touches a game for the Lions, I mean, do you think the Bills will welcome OJ back? I mean, they do have a pretty stout running. I really like Zach Moss, by the way. If you're in fantasy, if you're in dynasty, get yourself some Zach Moss. Nick Lindbergh, $2 in the super chat. Jonathan Taylor, Raheem Mostert in fantasy. I would go Mostert because I like Taylor, but Mostert, especially if you're in PPR, also doesn't sound like Tevin Coleman's going to play, so Mostert's going to absorb even more of that work, so it'd be good. But yeah, get OJ out of here. So I do like the Dolphins. I like the Patriots to cover here. Baltimore minus 9 against Cleveland. I'll take those points. Shit. Jets versus Bills. So full disclosure, Bills is my pick in Survivor. So Buffalo's fading 5.5 points. I don't know. The Jets are a mess, though. I'll take the Bills. Raiders and Carolina, pick 'em. I'm taking Teddy B all the damn time. I would even fade a field goal. Seattle at Atlanta. Seattle's 1-point favorite. I'll take the Falcons at home. Seattle going cross country. Philly at Washington. Philly is 5.5-point favorites. I'm taking Washington with everything that's going on with the offensive line. Actually, I just should go by consensus. So that got bet. Yeah, I'm going off of opening line. Sorry, I should go by consensus. So, man, that doesn't really change in my picks. Next up, Indianapolis at Jacksonville. Yeah, I think that's astute. I think Jacksonville's pretty much folded their tent. Detroit is giving a field goal. Chicago coming in. I mean, they're without Babytron. So I actually might take Chicago in the points here. I think it's going to be a close game either way. Who sucks the least between the Bears and the Lions? That's what's gonna be. It's your Vikings, of course. Chargers -3 at Bengals. Yeah, I think I'll take the Chargers. I'll eat the points. Niners -7 against Arizona. Give me the Cardinals +7. Give me the tutty. Yeah, give Kyler Murray the reigning rookie of the year. Bring it. Tampa Bay at New Orleans. New Orleans favored. I think that's astute. You really don't know what Tampa Bay is going to be. No fans, though. Yeah, I'll take the 3.5. If it was 3, it'd be really close. See, Sunday Night Football, you got the Cowboys at the Rams. Cowboys are 2-point favorites. Give me the Rams. I still don't believe in the Cowboys. I just don't. Like, I know that they're partially easy to root for because Everson's there, but nah. The 2 Monday night games. So you got Pittsburgh at the Giants. Who made the schedule? This is dumb. Pittsburgh at the Giants on Monday night. Woo. I'll take the Giants. I'll take the home dogs, as well as I'll take Denver +3 home dog as well. Tennessee at Denver. Just like, okay. Yeah, for some reason, Monday night games, they do not get the premium matchups. They don't. Like, I get that Sunday Night Football does absorb all the good games. I don't know why it's Dallas Rams. Well, actually, I do know why, because it's the opening of, like, SoFi Stadium. Blah, blah, blah. So that's cool. But, I mean, Seahawks at Rams would be a better game. Niners at Rams would be a better game. Like, people are still just like, they still think that the NFC East moves the needle, because that was the thinking back when there was 3 channels. Like, oh, who is good? The Dallas Cowboys, America's team, or the New York Giants, Big Blue, the team of the city, and all this stuff. Just doesn't happen, man. It's like the leftover East Coast bias is still permeating all of the the network television executives, because they're all like 60 or 70, and they're just like, well, back in my day, we would gather around the old RCA, and then we would tune it to the radio station, and we'd listen to the Boston Braves take on the New York Football Giants, and Frank Gifford was out there, and blah blah blah. Please, Arizona is more exciting of a football team than the Cowboys are. I mean, they just are. Like, yes, Dallas, cool. You got Zeke. You got Amari Cooper who's dinged up. You have CeeDee Lamb. You have Dak. Great. No one cares. No one cares. Right? It used to be that the Cowboys were like the Yankees or like the Patriots, where no one has a neutral feeling about them. Everyone either loves or hates them. And don't get me wrong, that is good. That is really, really good for ratings, because everyone has a strong opinion of said team. You look at the Warriors, you look at LeBron, you look at, I don't know hockey well enough, but it's not the same thing with the Cowboys anymore. Because, yeah, in the heyday, when Jerry Jones was on his mouthpiece all the time, well, he's still doing that, but when it was Emmett and Irvin and Jimmy Johnson and all that stuff, like, people either loved or hated the Cowboys. Yeah, respect. But now it's like, people love the Cowboys, people hate the Cowboys, sure, but a lot of it is like, who cares? Who cares? They are not America's team anymore. But other than that, I have no feelings on it. Yeah. All right, so 12 minutes from kickoff. Anything else going on here? Gallahorn's not sound today? Okay. Oh, did they blow it or did they not blow it? Really does not matter. Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap up the live stream. We will see you at the end of the game. We got winners and losers. Woo, 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 woo. Skull, production value.